Abram was born in Ur of the Chaldeans as the son of Terah. Here began his journey of faith.
Leave your country and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.
So Abram took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all their possessions, and in obedience to God's word, began a long journey. When Abram arrived in Canaan and reached Shechem, the Lord appeared to him and said,
To your descendants I will give this land.
And Abram built an altar there. He moved gradually toward the south, but soon a severe famine struck the land. Abram went down to Egypt to stay there for a while.
You are a beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will kill me and let you live. So please, say that you are my sister.
When Abram entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw Sarai's beauty. Pharaoh's officials noticed her, praised her to Pharaoh, and Sarai was taken into the palace. Because of Sarai, Pharaoh treated Abram well, giving him livestock and servants. But the Lord brought great plagues on Pharaoh and his household.
Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say, she is my sister? Here is your wife. Take her and go.
Pharaoh ordered his men to send Abram away with his wife and all his possessions. Abram left Egypt with Sarai and Lot, now possessing great wealth. But the land could not support both Abram's and Lot's herds, and disputes broke out between their herdsmen.
Let there be no quarrel between your herdsmen and mine, for we are relatives. The whole land is before you. If you go to the left, I will go to the right. If you go to the right, I will go to the left.
So Lot chose the fertile Jordan Valley and moved eastward, and the two parted ways. After Lot departed, the Lord spoke again to Abram.
Lift up your eyes from where you are, and look north, south, east, and west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your descendants forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you.
Abram moved his tents to the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he built another altar to the Lord. God had called Abram to leave his homeland, and Abram obeyed. God promised him a great nation and to make him a blessing for all peoples. Though Abram faltered in fear in Egypt, God still protected him and kept his promise. In those days, the four kings of the east joined forces and attacked Sodom and Gomorrah. The city gates were broken down, and chaos filled the streets. They captured Abram's nephew Lot, his family, and all their possessions, and carried them away. One man escaped and came to tell Abram what had happened. Abram's heart sank as he heard the news. He gathered 318 trained men born in his household.
This cannot be.
Abram said,
My nephew Lot has been taken captive. He must not perish with the wicked. The Lord who called us will be with us. Take courage.
He urged his men.
The one who is with us is greater than the world itself.
That night, under the cover of darkness, Abram and his men launched a surprise attack against the enemy. At last, Abram recovered his nephew Lot, all his possessions, and the people who had been taken. Abram returned triumphantly, bringing Lot, the rescued people, and all the spoils of war back with him. As the dust of the wilderness settled, a figure appeared before Abram. It was Melchizedek, king of Salem, and priest of God Most High, who came to bless him. After the battle, while Abram's heart was still trembling with fear, the word of the Lord came to him in a vision during the quiet of the night.
O Lord, What will you give me?
Abram said,
For I remain childless.
Then the Lord said,
Look up toward heaven and count the stars. Indeed, you can count them. So shall your descendants be.
Abram replied,
O Lord, how can I know that I will possess this land?
It was not a question of doubt, but of faith seeking assurance in the promise of God.
Bring me a heifer, a goat, and a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove and a young pigeon.
Abram prepared the offerings, and, just as the Lord commanded, he cut the animals in two and laid each piece opposite the other. As the sun began to set, vultures came down upon the sacrifices, but Abram drove them away so that nothing would defile the holy offering. His heart was filled with reverence and love, longing to give himself wholly to God. Before the sacred altar, Abram stayed awake through the night, praying in devotion. When the sun had set, a deep sleep fell upon him, and a great and dreadful darkness covered him. The air grew still, and then the voice of God spoke.
Know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a land not their own, where they will be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. But I will judge the nation they serve, and afterward they will come out with great possessions.
This was a shadow of things to come, a prophecy that would be fulfilled centuries later in the days of Moses. On the day the mighty hand of God delivered them, the promise of salvation spoken this night to Abram was fulfilled.
I will give this land to your descendants, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates.
Thus, God had already promised the inheritance to the children of Abram. But still, Abram and Sarai had no child.
The Lord has kept me from bearing children. Please go into my maidservant Hagar. Perhaps I can build a family through her.
So Abram went to Hagar, Sarai's Egyptian maid, and she conceived. But when Hagar knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress.
I gave my maid into your arms, and now that she knows she is with child, she looks down on me. May the Lord judge between you and me.
Your maid is in your hands. Do with her whatever you think best.
Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, and Hagar fled from her mistress into the wilderness. Alone and weary, Hagar came to rest beside a spring on the road to Shur. There, the angel of the Lord found her.
Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?
I am fleeing from my mistress Sarai.
Return to your mistress and submit to her. I will greatly multiply your descendants, so that they will be too numerous to count. You are now pregnant, and will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery. He will be like a wild donkey among men. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility among his brothers.
Hagar gave this name to the Lord, who spoke to her.
You are the God who sees me.
She said,
For I have seen the one who looks after me here.
From that day on, Hagar gave the spring the name Beer-lahai-roi, which means the well of the living one who sees me. That well lies between Kadesh and Beer. Hagar returned and gave birth to a son, and Abram named him Ishmael. At that time, Abram was 86 years old. 13 years had passed, and once again the Lord appeared to Abram and said,
Walk before me and be blameless. You will be the father of many nations.
From that day on, Abram became Abraham. One hot day, as Abraham sat at the entrance of his tent near the great trees of Mamre, he looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. He hurried to meet them and bowed low to the ground. Abraham brought them under the shade of the tree. He told Sarah to quickly prepare bread, and he chose the best calf for a servant to prepare. After they ate, the visitors asked,
Where is your wife Sarah?
She is in the tent.
He replied. Then one of them said,
About this time next year, Sarah will have a son.
Sarah, listening behind the tent door, laughed to herself.
How can this be? I am old, and my husband is old as well.
Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return, and she will have a son.
Sarah, frightened, said,
I did not laugh.
But the Lord said,
You did laugh?
The three men rose and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham walked with them to see them off. Then the Lord said,
Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? For he will become a great nation, and through him all nations will be blessed.
The Lord continued,
The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grievous. I will go down and see whether it is as bad as the outcry that has reached me.
Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people?
The Lord said,
If I find 50 righteous people, I will spare the whole place for their sake.
And if 30, if 20, if 10?
The Lord replied,
For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it.
When the Lord finished speaking, he left, and Abraham returned quietly to his tent. That evening, 2 angels arrived in Sodom. Lot was sitting by the city gate, and when he saw them, he bowed with his face to the ground.
My lords, please come to your servant's house, wash your feet, and spend the night.
But they said,
No, we will spend the night in the square.
Lot insisted strongly, and finally they went with him. Lot prepared a meal and baked bread for them. But the men of Sodom surrounded the house and shouted,
Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out.
Lot stepped outside, shutting the door behind him, and said,
My brothers, do not do this wicked thing.
The angels reached out, pulled Lot back inside, shut the door, and struck the men with blindness. The angels said,
Do you have anyone else here? Son-in-law, sons, daughters, bring them out, for the Lord will destroy this city.
Lot warned his sons-in-law,
Hurry and escape. The Lord will destroy this city.
but they thought he was joking. At dawn, the angels urged Lot,
Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters and leave, or you will be swept away.
When Lot hesitated, the angels took their hands and led them out, for the Lord was merciful to them.
I cannot flee to the mountains. Please let me escape to that small town. My life will be spared there.
The angel replied,
Very well. I will not destroy the town you speak of. Hurry, I can do nothing until you reach it.
The town was called Zoar. As Lot reached Zoar, the sun was rising. Then the Lord rained down, burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah. The fire consumed the cities and every living thing within them. There were not even 10 righteous people, none of the righteousness Abraham hoped for. After fire and sulfur consumed the cities, a deep silence covered the land. Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. The moment she turned, her heart revealed its longing for the world she left behind. At daybreak, Abraham returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord and saw smoke rising like a great furnace. Abraham pleaded with the Lord, asking him to spare the city if only 10 righteous people could be found. And God, pleased with his prayer, promised, If there are 10, I will not destroy it. But Sodom and Gomorrah were filled with violence, oppression, corruption, and cruelty, and not even 10 righteous people could be found within their walls. Their destruction was not merely an act of divine anger, but a sorrowful reminder of what happens when people turn away from God and lose all sense of goodness. Yet even in the ashes of judgment, the goodness of God remained. The Lord remembered Abraham and did not forget his plea, and because of that, Lot was saved. After these things, God tested Abraham and called out to him.
Abraham.
Here I am.
God gave Abraham the heaviest and most difficult command.
Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. There, offer him as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you.
Early the next morning, Abraham rose and obeyed. He saddled his donkey and took his servants and his son Isaac. He prepared the wood for the burnt offering with his own hands. His heart was heavy, yet he moved forward in faith. For he believed God would raise a nation as countless as the stars through Isaac. Isaac was a son who could not truly die. God's promise was an unchanging truth. On the third day, Abraham saw the mountain from a distance. Then he said to his servants,
Stay here. The boy and I will go and worship, and we will come back.
Abraham was certain they would return together. Even if Isaac died, he believed God could raise him again. This was Abraham's absolute trust. Abraham placed the wood on Isaac and carried the fire and the knife, and the two of them walked on together.
Father?
Here I am, my son.
The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the offering?
God himself will provide.
Together they went up the mountain. Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood. He bound Isaac and laid him on the altar. Abraham took the knife. Just then an angel of God called to him from heaven.
Abraham, Abraham.
Here I am.
Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God.
Abraham saw a ram caught in a thicket. He offered the ram instead of his son. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide."
On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided.
God blessed Abraham once more.
Your descendants will be as countless as the stars. All nations will be blessed through you.
Abraham returned to his servants. He lived in Abraham's obedience was trust beyond understanding. To those who hold fast to God's promise, God will surely make a way, and he will fulfill everything he has spoken. I want to share this story with more people. Subscriptions and likes are a huge help.